Today is going to be a special video. I am going to be telling you guys the story of my trip to the Philippines. First, can we just ignore the background noise? They're doing construction work. So I assume a lot of you guys don't know that I traveled to the Philippines because I am reading your comments and you guys are saying, go to the Philippines, travel to the Philippines, go here, go there, and I do appreciate it, you guys. Thank you for being so welcoming. But I thought it was time for me to tell you guys my side of the story and how my experience went when I went to the Philippines. Now let's rewind to summer of 2011. So school just ended and my parents decided to go to the Philippines. Now my parents already went to the Philippines back in the day, and apparently I went with them when I was 5 years old. I don't remember that. I rode the plane and it was, I don't know how long of a trip it was. I think, was it 9 hours? I'm not sure. We went to Mactan, Cebu. Now if you don't know Mactan, Cebu, look it up. I'm just kidding. So we were driving in the car on the way to the hotel, and the driver suddenly makes a sudden stop. And my brother and I are panicking, like what's going on? And we see this massive animal. I'm gonna put a picture up here so you guys can see. This massive animal just walking, and I look at my brother and I'm saying, welcome to the Philippines. We drove to the hotel, and the hotel we stayed at was the Hilton Hotel at that time. Now they actually changed the hotel to Move-In Pig Hotel, which is really sad because we stayed at the Hilton, not the Move-In Pig. Get your facts straight. It was a totally new experience, seeing the houses and the vendors and street food, and it was a lot to handle for my first day there. We arrived at the hotel, and obviously the first thing we wanted to do was water sports, jet skiing, diving, parasailing, and that's exactly what we did. Now after staying in the Hilton Hotel for 3 days, we wanted to transfer hotels. We wanted to find a hotel that would have more amenities in the hotel, more water sports, more options for us to do in the hotel instead of leaving the hotel all the time. Quick tip. If you plan on staying in a hotel and if you plan on paying a lot of money for the hotel, stay in the hotel. You're using your money's worth. If you stay in an expensive hotel and you leave the hotel, there's no point because you're just going to the hotel to sleep. You feel? After searching and searching for a couple of days, we finally found the one. And when I say the one, I mean the one hotel that created so many memories for me. And this hotel is called the Imperial Palace Water Park Resort and Spa, aka J Park Hotel Resort. I don't know, they changed the name as well, which is really sad. Now this hotel had the whole 9 yards. It had water parks. It had like a water park in the hotel. There was like 5 slides, a lazy river, bungee jumping. They had a spa, they had a barbershop, a salon. They had a karaoke cafe in the hotel. When we checked in at the hotel, we were like flabbergasted. Now we would swim all day. We would swim from 7 a.m. up until like 5 p.m. When the clock struck 6, sometimes we would go out, watch a movie, check out the malls, check out local shopping. Throughout this entire trip, I actually met amazing people that I shared lots of laughs with. Now I want to show you guys a couple of photos of the hotel. At that time, I had a crappy pink camera, so I want to apologize for the quality of the photos. Now sometimes if we weren't feeling like going out of the hotel at nighttime, they got you covered. They had fire dancers, they had traditional dancing. Which was a whole new experience. It was so cool. It was fascinating to see the locals and just the way they were dressed, what they were wearing, the shoes, the makeup, the hair, and even the language. I realized they did not speak this language. They spoke this language, which I think is really interesting. So in December, as we were leaving the hotel at nighttime to see a movie or go shopping, we stopped by the lobby and there were these kids that were dressed in like Santa Claus hats and like a uniform, and it was so cute, and I think they were caroling or something. These also like adults that were singing. It was just such a good vibe. The entire Christmas vibe was just so, it felt so good, and you just feel really happy when you see them sing. They were just so welcoming and always smiling and positive, and I think that was what drew us and drew me especially to the Philippines. Now we stayed in Cebu for a good couple of months, and then we went to Manila. Before we even get started, I love Manila. I love the vibe of the street, the city, the lights, everything being open all the time. I live in a city myself, so I'm like, this is my vibe. We lived really close to a mall, movie theater, supermarkets, everything was around us. It was so convenient for us to just go out, get groceries, or go to see a movie. So we went to Mall of Asia, which is so cool. So we went there and there was this music and it was really loud and speakers were just blasting and people were screaming, and I was like, being the curious teenager I was, I want to go check this out. So I go down with my friend and we see this line, this crazy line, and I'm like, there's no way we're gonna get in there. Walk up to the security and we're like, what's going on? He's like, well, there's a show. And I'm like, what is this show? He said the name of the celebrity, I don't remember it off the top of my head, but he said the name of the celebrity, and then he let us in. And so we got, there's like 4 judges in front of us. They're sitting and we're facing these 2 hosts. Are just screaming, and then this like 6 or 7 group of girls come in and they start dancing. they kill it. They kill it so good. After a while, we flew back to Cebu, and in the airport, we were sitting in the lounge, and my friend's mom, she starts screaming. She runs out the door, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, what's going on? I go out, and there's this tall guy standing, and she's like, take a picture. Take a picture. And she's telling me to take a picture of her. I grab my camera and I take a picture, and I'm like, who is this? I don't know this guy. And so I'm gonna put a picture up here so you guys can see who he was. We fly back to Cebu, and we get there, and I actually got to go to a Bruno Mars concert. It was my first official Bruno Mars concert. It was absolutely amazing. I was with my best friends in the beautiful city of Cebu. We actually went to, I'm gonna put the names up here in the pictures for you guys. We went there. It was so one-on-one with nature. We drove a really long time, and then we had to hike up this mountain. We were just surrounded by so many good people, and it was full of laughs and jokes and falling and tripping and learning how to be one-on-one with nature. After that trip with the waterfalls, we actually went to a Jollibee. We got home and we were passed out tired because of all the hiking and the screaming because there were thousands of spiders. I know that I still have a lot more to experience in the Philippines. I know that's like 1/8 of the country's natural beauty and oceans and beaches and resorts and just the full experience, but when we went back home, it was the day that we were leaving, go back to Saudi Arabia, and when we drove to the airport, there were like 6 staff members from the hotel, 3 of my really good friends that I met in this trip. There was a driver and his wife, and it was so many people who were dropping us off, and they were crying, they were tears, saying, I'm gonna miss you, please come back. And it was like, wow, you know, with the amount of time that I took there, I was able to make these genuine friends and genuine people that I still keep in touch with to this day. I remember my first time, one of the staff members actually took me to her house, and it was in Mactan, Cebu. Houses built on sticks, and under it was just water. It was like more than 4 people stepping on it. It feels like it's gonna fall apart. The way to get there were chickens, there were dogs, cats. She showed me her home, and it's weird to explain. Like, wow, people take life for granted so easily. 2-bedroom, it wasn't even a bedroom. It was these wood things that were dividing the room, and they didn't even have a bed. They had this like cloth thing on the ground, and they were sharing it. She was sharing it with like 6 other girls. So eye-opening to me. It made me realize, wow, there's so many people I know back home that are blessed and that take it for granted and always complain, and then I look and I say, wow, and they don't really know what they have until it's gone. I was in that room, and then this really like 4-year-old came up and gave me this massive shell. Thank you, like, wow. And she said, well, this is a symbol or a tradition in my family to give you this shell when you're traveling for blessings. And I gave her a hug, and I was like, thank you, that is so sweet. And we left in the airport. It was just a bittersweet moment. Everyone was crying. We left, and I sat on that plane just saying, wow, that was a trip. Yeah, just always remember to not take things for granted. People out there are saying they're lucky when they have a roof over their head. People out there don't even have a home, which I think is absurd, but it's true and it's sad. And people complain about them not getting their favorite shoes or not being able to buy a new phone, and out there people don't even have food. I just really wanted to share this story with you guys. Number one, maybe to inspire someone. Number two, to tell you my side of the story and how my trip went, my overall experience, the people I met. Never take things for granted. Be kind and show nothing but love.